Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations, as always, to the elect. And all the brothers pushing this work in sincerity and in truth. This is Brother Thamine from GMS Toronto, coming at you with another video, right? Tonight's video, I'm going to be talking about the wickedness of Jake, right? And the disrespect that Jake pretty much have towards each other, right? The no love whatsoever, which is a part of the curses, right? Um, these two incidents I'm going to be talking about has to deal with Jake digging up another Israelite's grave, right? And in this case in Trinidad, right? It says here Shrek dug out of a grave and burnt, right? So that's his name. His name is Shrek, right? That's his nickname, right? His real name is Kevin Lucas, who was recently shot and murdered, right? Was laid to rest in a cemetery in Sangre Grande, right? That's what they call it. His body was dug up and burnt, right? And most likely it's the people that put him to death that did this to him, right? These are the comments. People are appalled, right? Once peaceful and beautiful country. I don't know where they got this shit from. Even before they were born, Trinidad was crazy, man. Right? Um, but that's Jake. Jake has gone. His mind is gone. His heart is gone. Right? And this is the hatred that Jake feels towards each other. Right? They don't respect each other. You know, even as so-called gangsters, right? Oppositions. At one point, they would respect the fact that if a person's dead, the person's dead, right? The furthest that they'll go back in days, like make threats to go and piss on your grave when you die or shit like that, But now these guys are literally going down into graves and digging it up. Shows that these Israelites will go beyond that threshold in order to humiliate a person that they already took their lives, man. Right? I seen rappers. I made a video about this rapper last week, Julio. He went to one of his some in a graveyard also, and he made a video with the guy's picture that they murdered, right? Talking about I'll see you or I miss you or some shit like that. He was put to death a couple of months ago, right? He was shot 30 something times. The Lord is not sleeping, okay? The Lord put Kevin Lucas away because he was on that same garbage. He was on the murdering spree, just like the people that put him to death, okay? But this is how low Jake has sunk, right? It goes beyond just us being last hired, first fired. It goes beyond that, right? This hatred is beyond repair. Most of these Israelites need to be put away, man. Okay, and that's the reason why the Lord is going to pretty much sunk these islands, right? Every island shall depart. Okay, if you think you niggas are safe down there, right? Down in the Caribbean, judgment has to be executed in the Caribbean, right? This is Revelation 6 and 14. And the heaven departed, which is the missiles, right? Over here in America, because America is not too far from the Caribbean. It's just 5 hours away. And when these missiles drop on Babylon the Great, guess what's going to happen? It's going to trigger tsunamis. It's going to trigger earthquakes. It's going to trigger what else? Volcanoes, right? So only the elect are going to make it off these islands. So all these wickedness that these Jakes are doing, the murdering, the raping, the pillaging, the robbing, right? All of these men must be judged, right? And you're seeing them judged in front of your very eyes. And even in death, they're still being disrespected, right? That's just a part of their judgment. The fact that they're gunned down in the streets, that's the most dishonorable death that you can have as a man, right? Being gunned, being murdered and left for your blood to be spilled on the pavement or on the ground, right? That's the most dishonorable death that a man can have, for the whole world to see you laid out, right? But that's not enough. When they're dead and they're put away, resting, right? Spirit is in the spirit world, bodies in the grave rotting. These guys will still go and break the ground, break up the tombs, and dig their brothers up and burn them as a sign of disrespect, right? These niggas are trying. They're really trying to show you that they don't, that they don't love you, man, right? All the love that a brother is supposed to feel for another brother, another fellow Israelite, it's gone. It says here, in the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island was moved out of their places. Right, let me get another one, Revelation 16. It says here, let's get the King James. And every, Revelation 16 and 20, and every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. Okay, so whatever tidal wave is going to come and take these islands away, that's what's going to happen. Okay, um, could be hurricanes. Most likely, it's going to be tsunamis, because those islands are nothing but pieces of rocks surrounded by water. That's all an island is. When you check out the definition of an island, body body of land surrounded by water. That's it, right? So those can easily be taken away, and judgment um, has to be executed on these islands, because the amount of murder in Trinidad. Let's see Trinidad murder rate. 2024. We're not dealing with the per capita. I don't care about no per capita. Let's see how much murder that they have already. Up to 2022, the Sister Isles murder rate was 1/3 of Trinidad's by 2023. It says here, 6,000 people has a homicide rate of 20%, or 20 per 50,000 people for this year. So far, Trinidad rate is 44 per 100,000, meaning it's a lot of people. The percentage is very high. All right, let's go up to America. Right, Babylon the Great, Philly rapper, Philly rapper digs grave, but this one dies, right? Vic, yes, this is the one. Vic's rapping as YBC Doll or Dool went viral for digging up the grave of a deceased foe, which is, they call it ops now, opposition, from a rival gang. Right? YBC has been embroiled in a war with 6 other local gangs when his clip caught the attention of the masses. The news publication detailed another innocent incident involving the YBC that went down in early August, right? So that's the name of their gang, the YBC. In Chicago, you have they have different abbreviations for different gangs, right? So it says a Philadelphia rapper who dug up enemy's grave shot dead, right? So he died, I think, a couple of days ago. This is the nigga right here, right? Another incident involved YBC. Okay. So these things don't last, man. Like you being you being this evil towards your brother, guess what? He's gonna be evil towards you too, right? And these boys, all they're fighting over is nonsense, right? Turf wars, right? Hardly ever about money. It's either it's about girls, or someone says their name in a song, right? Who goes and dug up another person's grave? Who does this, man? Right? This is how hateful the Israelites really are. That's how you know the curses are real, right? Let's go to the curses, Deuteronomy 28 and 50, 54 probably. 50, yeah, 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Right. So it says that a tender man, the man that is tender that is among you, which is your brother, the Hebrew Israelite brother, right? Respectful tribes, right, and very delicate, because that's how we should look at each other, meek and mild. You shouldn't want to have to hurt your brother or take his life. But every time these men see each other, that's why I stay away from these niggas, man. Right? I'm at home or I'm at work or I'm in the park walking, right, minding my own business, right? Because I know how these jakes think. They look at you as an enemy. They look at themselves. They hate themselves, so they're gonna hate you. That's the reason why he went to the graveyard of a person that they murdered, and they dug up his grave, because that's how he see himself. He hates himself, and that's all from Esau, Edom too. The Lord put that spirit on Esau, so these jakes can hate themselves, man. Right? Cause they don't see themselves as nothing, as anything, Salakia. They see themselves as nothing, like zero, dirt, low self-esteem. That's the reason why this is all happening. It goes back to the curses, right? And this is a grave shame, right? To to wake somebody up out of their grave, or to dig someone's grave, right? We're Israelites. We're pure. We're supposed to be righteous. We are the saints. The saints are not supposed to conduct themselves like this, right? The Lord said that we're a nation of priests and kings, right? Um, there's a law on dead bodies, man. Israelite, the law. Yep, there you go. On not touching dead bodies. This is Numbers, right? 19 and 11. He that toucheth the dead body of any man shall be unclean 7 days. He shall purify himself with it on the third day, and on the seventh day he shall be clean. But if he purify himself on the third day, then the seventh day he shall not be clean. Right? Either way, you're not supposed to touch dead bodies, right? Um, and if you do, this is the procedure. But these niggas, that's why he had to die. And I guarantee you right now, the person that did that to that man in Trinidad, dig up his body and burn his body while he was already buried, that he's gonna die too. Okay? Because guess what? His friends know who did it to his body. They know. They all know each other. Whosoever toucheth the dead body of any man that is dead and purify not himself, defile the tabernacle of the Lord. So you're not just digging up a person's body when when these rappers and these other gang members do this and they don't purify themselves, right? When they do these things, you're defiling your body. So the Lord has a great loathsome, what's the word I'm looking for? The Lord hates this shit, man. Right? Especially a saint. When a saint is unclean, the Lord hates that, because it's like a stench in his nose. Right? Defile the tabernacle of the Lord, which is what? Your body. Right? These are just the Lord loaned us these chains, these flesh suits to house our spirits. And this is what the spirit that's in these men, these unclean spirits is on these men, man. Right? And that the soul shall be cut off from Israel. And that's why when these men dig up these brothers, their own brother's body, and touch them and burn them and do whatever they want to them, right? That's why the Lord cut them off from Israel. That rapper had to be cut off. Fulio Julio had to be cut off. That man in Trinidad, he will be cut off because the water of separation was not sprinkled upon him. Right? They don't know the ritual to clean yourself. They don't know the spiritual journey to be on when you touch a dead body. They don't know that. Right? They don't know these things. And especially a body that's already buried and is rotten, right? And you go and touch that, that's an extra death penalty, man. He shall be unclean, his uncleanness is yet upon him. Right? This is the law when a man died in a tent. Okay, so it goes right. So it ends there, you know, and these spirits are always the crying unto the Lord, right? The blood cry it. You know what? Let's get Cain. Let's get Abel's blood. Okay, Abel's blood. Oh man, this is Genesis 4. I'll read it in the standard version. Then the Lord said to Cain, where is Abel, that your brother? He said, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? And yes, you are your brother's keeper. Okay, all these Israelite men murdering other Israelites, you are your brother's keeper. So if you're not your brother's keeper, are you your brother's murderer? Right? Make that make sense. You're supposed to protect your brothers. Okay, we all came over here. Our descendants went through the same things. So you're supposed to be your brother's keeper. You're supposed to look out for each other. You're supposed to love each other, right? But that's the opposite of what Jake is on right now. And the Lord said, what have you done? Right? And when you rappers, when we're out here rebuking all you niggas, making your rap videos and your gangs, when you come across these videos, this is what's happening, right? The Lord is asking you, what have you done through us? Because we are the mouthpiece of the Lord. The voice of your brother's blood is crying to me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the ground, right? So the point there is, your brother's blood is crying to me, right? So every time an Israelite man die, or anyone in general, right? They go back to the Lord and they complain. Okay, they want justice, right? So when you think you murder a man and you get away with it, he's up there complaining to the Lord and he wants revenge. Okay, and now you're cursing the ground, which open its mouth and receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it shall no longer yield to you in its strength. You shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth, right? And most of these men that murder their brothers, they are fugitive. Who are they running from? Death, right? Until it's time for them to die too. Okay, so they mark themselves when they murder their brothers and don't repent, because guess what? They go right back on the block, and they do the same thing that that man that they murdered was doing. Okay, they go and they sell their drugs. They go and they try to like sleep with each other's girls, and that's how death seeks into these guys' lives. Okay, so they're committing multiple offenses. Okay, and it's only a matter of time before the Lord takes these guys out. Shalom.